Heading to the draft with pick number 6 is almost as confusing as having pick number 1 in regards to who we're going to take with it. There's so many options available in such an even draft that we are very much spoiled for choice if we carry that pick 6 through to draft night. So today I want to have a look at 3 possible options that might be available at pick 6 in Harvey Langford, Murphy, Reid and Josh Smilie. All 3 would be fantastic additions to any side, and I think we'd be more than happy to take them on board. But let's have a look first at Harvey Langford, 190cm midfielder from the Dandenong Stingrays. It's his 3rd year in the Stingrays program, so he's had quite a bit of experience at that Coates League level, playing as an underager all the way up to a top ager. Harvey Langford's top age year for the Stingrays is what's really put him into top 10 draft contention, with a bunch of best on ground performances, which ended up leading to him taking out the Lark medal, and he also helped lead the Stingrays to a preliminary final as well. This year he's had pretty good consistency, only dropping below 20 disposals in 1 of 15 Coates Talent League appearances, and been held goalless just 3 times. The big talking point for Harvey Langford, though, was his championship games in the under-18s, where he was almost used exclusively as a midfielder, and he averaged 25.5 disposals, 6.3 marks. He was getting clearances in inside 50s, and he was actually named in Vic Country's best 2 players across all 4 games. Langford's also a Tiger supporter, so pulling on the heartstrings a bit there when you want to get to the club that you buried for as a kid. He did line up for us in 1 VFL game, and he managed 12 disposals and 3 marks, playing half on the ball and half up forward. So given his size at 190 centimetres, it's somewhere he's very dual position, so can play it in that forward line area as well. Booming left foot kick too, which is very handy. So taking a look at some of his strengths: consistency, contested game, kick penetration, scoreboard impact, size and work rate. Now the biggest knock on him, and why I suppose some people have their doubts on him, is he's not blessed with natural pace, blistering pace. Maybe that's something that the fitness staff can bring into his workload and get him trained up for that. You would rather have to teach someone or train someone to build up speed than ball winning ability. I think it's easy to do the fitness side of it. Langford's best outing in the Coates Talent League game this year was 33 disposals and 4 goals, and they were both season high for him, and he's just proved to be a threat forward and in midfield. Obviously, he kind of outsizes a lot of the other midfielders in the Coates League, so what will be interesting is to see how that translates to AFL or VFL football when playing against men week in, week out. But a very tantalising prospect nonetheless, Harvey Langford. Murphy Reid, 180cm midfielder from Sandringham Dragons. He's a really interesting player, and he has really catapulted himself into top 5 calculations this year, and some clubs would even view him as potentially the best possible choice in the draft. Other clubs maybe have him a couple of picks behind that, but what excites me most about him is, from a Richmond perspective, I feel like he is almost a Shane Edwards 2.0 in terms of his creativity with hand, finding players in space with, quick little slick handballs. And we obviously know from watching Edwards back in the day how valuable that was to our side in our build-up play. And Murphy Reid has that kind of same talent, which is really exciting. In 2024, Reid definitely took his game to a whole new level, and he even was voted Vic Metro's Most Valuable Player Award against a pretty strong lineup, it must be said, and was named in All-Australian side as well, which was very much well-deserved. Along with that, he helped Sandringham take out their 3rd consecutive flag and was named in the Coates League Team of the Year. One of his top performances for the year, he had 39 disposals against minor premiers Geelong Falcons in round 18, and he also had a breakout game of 31 disposals, 8 clearances and 3 goals against South Australia. Taking a look at some of Murphy Reid's strengths: class, decision-making, handballing, poise, running capacity and scoreboard impact, and some improvements: explosive speed and size. Like I mentioned before, he's incredible with using the ball. He'll free up teammates into space, and I think that can be a very valuable asset for the Tigers in the years to come if we were to select him. Adding even more to Reid's hurt factor is his ability to actually hit the scoreboard. He kicked 6 goals in 9 outings for Sandringham this season, while also averaging a goal per game for Vic Metro. So he's because of his running capacity and how good he is at running both ways, he's actually got really good ability to find the ball, number one, but then use it well and hurt on the scoreboard. So a very interesting prospect. Like I said, some clubs have him as maybe the best player available, but he will definitely go, I think, within the top 5 to 6. 6 could be a stretch for him to get to us, but if he's available in there, it's going to be very, very interesting to see if we select him. Josh Smilie, the 195cm midfielder from Eastern Rangers, their captain, has been highly touted as the number one pick in the very early stages of 2024. And it seems in recent months he's probably slid a little bit to maybe that 5 to 10 mark. And I think a lot of that was probably on the back of his national championships, where his performance didn't quite live up to what he was doing at Coates League level. He still had a pretty good series, but just not the same type of numbers, whilst having, I suppose, that high quality around him, the pressure of the game lifted, the speed of the game lifted, and his output just didn't quite match it. But despite having said that, though, for Vic Metro, he still averaged 18.8 disposals, 3.5 tackles and half a goal per game, which isn't shabby by any stretch, but you compare that to his Coates League's numbers for Eastern Rangers, where he averaged 23.9 disposals, 3.8 marks, 3.7 tackles, and 1.3 goals per game. His sheer size and skill level, he just dominated against his peers at Coates League level. Standing at 195 centimetres, Smilie is definitely the most athletic, versatile, and skilled tall midfielder available. He's got all those traits are very much on the radar of all AFL clubs. A big part of Smiley's game is actually his stoppage craft. He's quite good around the stoppages. He has spent a little bit of time with Patrick Cripps as well, so what a player to learn from. But he averaged, for Victoria, he averaged about 19 disposals, but 10 of those were contested possessions and 6 clearances per game playing for the Big V. So he does know how to extract the ball from the middle, which is something that we'd obviously be very keen to have a look at. Some of the strengths for Smilie is agility, kicking, poise, size, stoppage craft, and versatility. And some improvements would be burst of speed, contested marking, and maybe just being a little bit more defensive-minded around stoppages. But look, like I said, this guy was touted as number one for quite some time, and for very good reason as well. But I just feel like in more recent times, there is a very good chance he could slip to us at pick 6 if he's available. Not sure he would go much lower than that to 10, which is our next pick. But it's going to be a very interesting debate if he is still here at 6 and whether we should take him or not. Again, a huge shout out to Footy Stuff, their YouTube page, for the highlights that we've seen of these players today. They do some great work. I'll leave a link to their page in the description below. But some very tantalising prospects that could be available at pick 6 if we hold on to pick 6. And that's a whole different story altogether. But make sure, let me know in the comments below, who are you taking if those three are at pick 6? Harvey Langford, Murphy, Reid, or Josh Smilie? Who's your choice at pick 6, guys? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe for more.